When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
You call women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down.
Touch me, sir. You cannot touch me.
I should have used two accounts, one for personal, one for work-related emails. That was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. I take responsibility.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very rowdy group.
Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know,
because we want our children in this nation to know
that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
That the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Woo. Okay.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted.
The rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them.
When Mexico sends its people...
The rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
The rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. Shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
YahNahVah, it has begun. Fall inside. Simply just fall inside. Get out of the noise. And suddenly, within that silence, the new world will appear. Breathe. Not necessarily only to relax, but with an intention impregnated with, dear Lord, whatever name I choose to call you or deem you as, that which is beautiful, perfect, and aligned with the highest good. Move through me in every aspect so that I know your presence as a reality forever. Shift, boom, and there you are. I feel it. I really don't have any show lined up as far as notes. Hello, everyone. I felt the urgency to do this live feed today. I'll always use that quote, that little phrase. Thank you for everyone for sharing. Dana, Priceless, whoever did share. Thank you. I'm sorry if I missed you. I felt the urgency to do a presentation titled, something I use a lot, Suddenly within the silence, the new world appears. If you watched the opening of this presentation, if you have not, please go back so you can get the gist of it all and why I worked for 2 hours. This ain't about me. It's about my intention that I put into this presentation. To create this 4-minute thing about politics. This presentation is not about politics. It is not pro nor anti Donald Trump. It is not pro nor anti Hillary Clinton liberals. None of that. It was presented with the intention for creating a greater scope of seeing, a larger bandwidth so we can take in what is transpiring in the world if you are living externally, and how you can internally change those in your life who may be caught up in the monkey mind, noise. You want to change the world? Change yourself. And then in turn, others around you, domino effect, and begin to become the change as well. Another one of my favorite new words is become. Become. But if you watched the beginning of this presentation, you heard and saw a video that I put together some time back of my spiritual band Lavender Soul. The song was called Two Old Souls. This beautiful music, full of heart, made with members of the Memphis Symphony Orchestra and myself. We co-wrote this beautiful album. And all of a sudden I went into this thing that took me 2 hours today to depict and give an understanding of the noise between the circus arena of politics. I'm not saying that there are not politicians in office who have a vocation to change the world as best they can. That is not what I'm implying whatsoever. I'm not even going as far as to extinguish the light in Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, because whatever nuggets they may offer along their strange path is light nonetheless, and it nullifies and dissipates all the other bullshit dark about their facade and their folly. Are we spiritually involved with ourselves enough so that we can evolve beyond the place of their noise? The left and the right wing belong to the same bird. It can't flap without it. Are you living in that noise? I hope not. Your life will get blissful immediately if you turn off the news. Stop staying so current, but stay present. That's a new Facebook challenge. Facebook challenge. I'm offering it up. So let's kick off a campaign. New Facebook challenge. I don't care about being current. I challenge myself to be present. And in turn, I challenge you to be present. The greatest gift is presence. Welcome, everyone. As I always do, let me acknowledge who Facebook says is here. Facebook says there's 6. The live number says there's 14. Hello, Dana, Elwood, Sonia, Athena, Rena, Tina, Pri, Kelly. Kelly, I sent your book to you today. Everyone, let me finish this. Carmen, Carsan, Darlene, Natalie, Roxanne, Esther, Sylvia, Karen, Priceless, Pam, Sonia. I'm repeating some, but I want to make sure I'm not skipping. Zveta, beautiful Zveta, Roxanne, Carol, Steve Cobb, my bro, Candace, Pam, Carmen, Judy, so I just sent a book to Kelly today. Make sure I got her last name right. She deserves the kudos. Kelly Curtis. She is the first person, and because she is Kelly, I'm going to give you an extra special gift. She bought a book today as her entry into my 12-week course starting hopefully early November. I need to build up a crowd. I will do it for one person because they are worth that to me. My 12-week course comes from the Divine Principle, not because it's a book sales pitch. It's because the teachings are coming from this 8 years of my life in meditation with Spirit. But Kelly, I'm going to give you an extra bonus. I'll give everybody bonuses, but Kelly, I'm going to give you one up. So to speak. Sign up. Send me a Facebook inbox, Keith. I'm interested in your 12-week course, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. There are 11 chapters in this book. Every week we're going to take one chapter. The final presentation, we're going to do an inclusion. Whatever questions. And I will be with you throughout this entire program. No one will have access to this course except those who sign up. It's only fair. You got to give to the system to receive. That being said, I love doing these things because I already receive. Being in this chair with this little fuzzy dot on my head, acting all cool and shit. I get my reward by being the vessel. Please share this, if you choose, to your wall. As I said, this is not about anti-politics nor pro-politics. If you look in the thread at the top where the show is titled, you're going to see a link to "And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth, the Prophecy Realized," a movie I made 2 years ago. I woke up one morning and said, what am I going to do today, Spirit? And it said, make a movie. It said, make a movie. All right. So I sat down for a course of about a month and a half. I created this movie called "And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth, the Prophecy Realized." Some dialogue from the Divine Principle, some I vesseled in the moment. It will describe the intro to this presentation about why I use politics as a milestone to reveal something as stagnant, old world something, so that we can have the aha effect to move forward, inward, upward, forward, inward, upward. They're all synonymous. Watch this movie. It's my heart. I worked 8 to 9 whatever hours a day I could on any given day. And I put all this passionate, sincere fire into this nugget. It's free. Costs you nothing. It'll create a disposition an understanding of where we are in this beautiful thing we call our lives in this present incarnation in this time in human history. This is not about humanity per se. It's not about the earth. It's cosmic. All of life is beginning to integrate at a conscious level, provided that you lift yourself by going inward and falling, ironically, which will lift you to a place of conscious awareness so that you can see the beautiful world, that new world that is beginning to appear when we become silent, will simply just appear for you out of thin air, just like that. But don't expect to find it out here. First, this is where the gate is, and oh my God, I am beginning to see and understand. And the noise, the ooh-ooh-ah-ah, gets completely filtered out. In fact, it gets blasted by the light and simply disappears. And so through the silence, the new world appears. My dears, it can't get any more clear than this. Don't miss the opportunity that awaits you. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Norma. Jackie. Randy Webb. Roxanne. Go to YouTube, please.com. YouTube.com/Center of Light Radio, which I am. YouTube.com/Center of Light Radio. Please subscribe to my page. Give me some thumbs up on my archive videos from Center of Light Radio with a listening audience of just at 5 million. Leave me a comment. It'd be awesome. So we went from the Lavender Soul intro music, the bumper for the show, to this video I worked on for 2 hours today that was all about noise, just noise. It created a contrast. The top of this feed, in the description, you'll see a donate button. Share your heart with me. I appreciate it. It's for my tour support so that I can take my work, Radical Transformation, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, on the road. I am moving into a larger arena. I've been waiting for 25 plus years. Because I've always known as a child, deep within my bones, I'm going to move to a larger stage. This is not about look at Keith. It's not. I'm unfolding something to you because I love you. And I want you to see, oh dear Lord, what unfoldment and transformation looks like. Children learn by observation. Divine children create through observation. So as I move into a greater arena, which I know I'm being called, as I fall inside of myself, I can fall so far that what you are seeing before you will not make any sense. But I won't do that. Because it won't make any sense. It'll come off as strange, odd, weird. And Spirit will not allow such a magical place to ever be desecrated. The vessel wants to impart to you, dear ones, that when he falls inside of himself to such a deep level, the reason he is able to successfully is one, because he does not care what people think. And in such a release and surrender, nicely, he lays in the cradle of the divine bosom. You all do this when you choose to. He just chooses to do it all the time, as often as possible, as long as he can remember to do it. Why does he like this place so much? Because he loses the very identity of his body that is required to keep him in it. This is not a blaspheme of the body, the beautiful sacred temple. It's just a choice to dwell further into the kingdom, where the body is not necessarily nor usable. In this space, I tell you that all dwells all within you all the time. Nonetheless, when either of you fall into the sacred space, and in your not worrying about the body's movement, it may lie still, but it may move, it may morph, it may take on light phenomena. You are the Christ, I tell you. Because what takes place in the garden will make you move. It will make you sing. It will make you dance. It will make you jump up and down in glee. It will make you cry. All at the same time. Put that in your divine pipe and smoke it. And then pass it around. Let everyone take a hit of the delicious divine herbal light. Herbal meaning natural, that which comes from the earth, or that which is natural in the law, in the science, in the spirituality, in truth, and of physics. Because in your physicalness, you must take it all in. You must draw it all in and turn it into light through transformation, as your Christ one did, transmuting the dark into light as it passed through his pure heart. And you all contain the same pure heart within yourself. Suddenly, within the quiet, the new world simply appears. YahNahVah, it has begun. YahNahVah, Yah, heart, will, God. Nah, mind, intellect. Backbone, Va, action. YahNahVah, connecting to my soul via my intention. This presentation, again, is not about politics. Donald Trump pro or con, Hillary Clinton pro or con, liberals pro or con. It's not about any of that. I use it as a landmark to create contrast of what we choose as a world. Do we want to keep watering the weed, the noise, or do we want to water the plant, the quiet? What do you want to grow not only in your life, but as a light worker, whether you choose to call yourself that or not? If you're conscious and you are in this feed right now, why do you think you are here? Why is this important to you? Even if it's a novelty, trust me, you are receiving on all levels, novel or not. Listen to this gorgeous, beautiful music. Simply participate, dear Lord, participate for your soul's awakening into the remembering of who you are. And if someone's around you and you feel awkward, say, God damn it, come over and sit next to me and join me. Let's both get awkward together. What do you have to lose and everything to gain? Close your eyes. Open your heart. Open your mind. Open your intention up to everything that is possible. Now, not later down the road. Be in that stargate, that sacred space, the holy instant moment. It exists. God's here now. So if there's a holy moment that does exist, what can I do And why wouldn't I do it? To always be in that place. That is the only place we will ever find grace to brush our face. Nothing can ever replace that space, ever. It's the want to. So take a breath. Feel yourself up from the bottom of your feet to the top of your crown chakra. From soul to bones. Oh my God, let me just follow his lead. Let me just see where this takes me. I dare you. And like a tap of pure mountain spring water, life-giving water, it moves through you and you feel it. Are you thirsty? This guy is. As you have just experienced and taken in my intention, my heart, my passion, my sincerity, my desire, my yearning, my burning, the music, the silence, your breath, your intention to follow suit. Take that in one last time for about 10 seconds. Just recall it. And as you recall it, stay in it. Because what I'm going to give you in contrast is going to be such an amazing, powerful, spiritual, illumined tool. You will see heaven, the new world, in the silence. And you will also see hell, the noise, in the noise. So recall that beautiful thing you just had. Watching me, watching you, feeling me, feeling you, and connecting together with you and I. Remember, I'm a member of society. I'm a member of the divine tapestry. Remember it. The power that is in the quiet. You feel that? That shit is powerful. Bring yourself out of it. Now tell me, how do you feel after you hear this? This is not about politics. This is not about judgment. This is about current news. Remember that space. Within the silence, the new world appears. Now let's go to the opposite side of the spectrum. Current news. Pipe bombs were sent to several prominent Democrats, including former President Obama, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and CNN. In this focus, are you or what you want to see in your world? Let me say that again. As we touched the love, the peace, and the quiet in paradise, current news. Pipe bombs were sent to several prominent Democrats, including President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and CNN. What did that do to the beauty you created within yourself just now? You lost it. You lost touch with the real world. Neo. Simply by focusing on the 15 seconds of that little spiel, it grated on your soul. It pulled your soul's flesh apart. Did it not? But I don't focus on that every day, all day long, Keith. Whatever time you do, your soul's flesh, if there is such a thing to make this point, is being ripped off of your soul body. Well, Keith, if I sit back and do nothing, nothing's ever going to change. That is a lie you were taught and bought. Is this your focus or what you want to see in your world? As you focus on this nonsense, it grows and infects all of us to the point that we over and over search for a tincture that will heal us. There is no such salve or band-aid to ever heal you from living in the noise, except the desire to shift into the quiet where the new world will suddenly appear. Because as you live in the light, anyone in your proximity that may be living in a dark nature becomes illumined. You're expressing, emoting light. There is no other salve or tincture. As the world begins to become infected by the noise, politics, racism, terrorism. Don't anti anything. Never anti-racist, never anti-terrorist, never anti this or that. You're pissing in a fan. Pro something. Water the plant, not the weed. When you try to buck anyone's nonsensical current, you're lifting the tide, the red tide, and it causes infection. And everyone becomes infected and begins to focus on the nonsense. Kavanaugh. That's his life. That's their drama. They're playing in the circus tent called whatever, the arena of politics. That's their snot. That's their stuff. We're not attached. We're not slaves. Because there's no salve. Salve, slave. Just change the A and the L. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Scott. Hi, Linda. Ron Schaefer, my beautiful friend. Everyone, Ron Schaefer is in this room. Jump seat from mine, my Facebook friends to his. This boy's on fire. He is illumined. He does beautiful Course in Miracle work and doesn't want anything from you. Hello, Natalie, Jackie, Tracy. When he goes into vessel mode, he leaves me in awe. Check out his live feeds. Hi, Roxanne. Hi, Laran. Think about the word politics. Just think about it. And think about what it is and what it means. I'm not saying, again, that there are not people in the political field who are trying to make a difference by being present. And to them, I absolutely lovingly applaud and humble myself to your light. Think about mainstream news and politics. Just think about it. Think about it. Think about it hard. And I use that word hard on purpose. Now think about your deceased grandmother and what that means. Or Jesus. Hope. A healed, unified, peaceful humanity. The choice is left to us. Well, I understand now. So I'm going to do everything I can to always monitor myself to live in the light. I caught myself. I shift to the light. But also know, even though your healing is applauded and noble, it does not negate the spiritual law that, mind you, is very much in force. Even in your meandering back, even though you're righting yourself, there's still an effect. This should motivate you and tell you that every time you slip, there's another possibility of it coming back around for you to say, hi, remember me, and you must stay ever diligent, steadfast. And one day for you too, all of this will come to pass, like with the vessel. He does not live in the noise. He's distracted. Sometimes he wants to bite the hook. Sometimes he does. But he has learned to release himself from it as soon as he is able and collects himself. Mind yourself that you can collect yourself before, so that you don't have to protect yourself after. So if you were here for the earlier part of this presentation, you saw the intro that I've created. It took me 2 hours. About what's happening in the world in the form of politics that are bringing so many sheeple with them. Dear Lord, bless all of them. Again, I use politics tonight as a reference. It's not anti nor pro. I'm using it as a reference for the chaotic noise in the world, along with terrorism, along with racism, along with what we think is happening. It's our own noise is what we think is happening. That's why it's called noise, unless you are spiritually endowed. And if you are, dear Lord, God bless you. When we become quiet, suddenly the new world outside of us suddenly shuts up. It just simply becomes quiet. Because we're no longer in the bandwidth and the scope and the frequency of the reality that is vibrant. It's losing its luster to many people. But the window is closing. There can come a day you can find yourself in the noise so much. Let's call it noise quicksand. Because everyone who is in the noise right now is falling and wallowing in noise quicksand. The saving grace tree branch is only so long. And there can come a time when it's out of your grasp. And down with the noise, you can sink. From my bestseller, The Divine Principle. One of my daily divine supplements. When you seek leaders, spirit speaking, when I channeled this book. When you seek leaders, make certain they have a divine calling and are not someone you vote for just because they seem to be the best ones running. Unlike the leaders of your present system, divine leaders will not even hint to you that they are the ones in charge. They will govern righteously and be of service to all. I don't know about you. I live in this place already. I don't need a political leader to validate who is in charge. But speaking for the world's stage, when we choose divine leaders, why haven't we been doing that? I'll tell you exactly why, and there's no way you can debate this. Why do we keep choosing the ones we choose? As the Divine Daily Supplement said, we're choosing the best one running, the lesser of the two evils. Evil is evil. I'm not insinuating that these people are evil. I'm making the point that the best one running is not enough. I'm not here to settle. I'm here to move forward, inward, and upward. I hope you join me in that mission, on that train to Ascensionville. So how do we begin to recognize divine leaders? Those who are that could be called, if we ask them to step onto the cosmic stage, not the world stage, the cosmic stage. So as a divine leader, follow the leader. We follow them because as we follow those lesser in intention for humanity's well-being, if they're skating on thin ice, we are all skating on the same thin ice. And into frigid hell we can all fall if the ice breaks. I will never gamble with my soul that way, ever. So how do we recognize divine leaders? So we can put them into office. So they do what we ask completely. Anything not born out of quiet and silence is noise. How do you recognize a divine leader and place them in due seat? Because in the quiet, not only does the new world appear, in the quiet, in the silence, the new leader / leaders of the world also appear. That's the one. Not the best one running at the time. It's the best one that can ever run possibly. And they govern their kingdom righteously. It can take the form of a man. It can take the form of a woman. It can take the form of people. It can take the form of a spiritual deity. All of them are part of the divine pie that take us all to the divine why am I in the situation in the first place. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being. Again, we go back to basics. The kingdom of God cometh not without observation. Neither shall they say, lo here or lo there. Behold, the kingdom of God is within. Shh. Be still and know that I am God. Shut up, please. Just, dear Lord, be quiet for the moment. And I say that for myself. Shut up, Keith. Scripture offers this message to one and all. Still many consider God, me, who is speaking God, to be a separate reality and never let themselves see the connection between us. I tell you again that if humanity were in alignment with the divine will, Yah, will, can only get to the kingdom by being quiet and silent. If humanity was in alignment with the divine will, it would not be in its present condition. Be rest assured that this condition will be corrected early in the new millennium. This is when the entire world will find itself submerged in absolute God change. And that is when it will become mandatory for everyone to question everything you believe to be true. The truth does not need anyone's permission to exist. As you all meditate upon the enigma of God, you will have no choice but to re-examine what you think to be divine. I ask God, what will help restore order in the world? Hello, Amy, Jenny, Angie, Isabel, Allie, Robert. What will help restore order in the world? God says, when everyone efforts to replace their concepts of right and wrong with a deliberate intent to live peacefully at all costs. That alone will help the world to regain its equilibrium. Can you tell me whose opinion is truly right amongst the 8+ billion of you? The use of military might is not an option anymore. The only way to restore order is for everyone to see things as I see it, with love, in love, as love. I say to Spirit, I really like the simplicity of what you just said. Seeing all things with love, in love, as love. That's nice. God says, just imagine what would happen if all the world's citizens truly desired peace. Imagine the quiet that would blanket your minds and the globe if all the bickering stopped. Why, peace could come to pass overnight. But needless to say, the guidance everyone needs to make that happen cannot possibly be heard when the voices of right and wrong are still making such a racket. Shh. Prophesied by Spirit in 1996. Make certain your chosen leaders have a direct connection to the divine, so that in any situation they can move to the good by praying to God, what do I do? If you are choosing leaders with these qualifications, talking about the negative things I didn't read, why bother to vote? I said, to try to make some kind of difference. Spirit says, psst, I will let you in on a little secret. Sometimes your votes are not even a factor. Many will try to convince you that the election process is a legitimate one. 1996 this was. But do not be fooled. Election results are often determined long before you step into the voting booth. Some may dispute this, but there is no point. What do you think happened in your 2000 year presidential election? I said, I'm not really sure. Spirit says, that unwieldy political fiasco came to light when the divine intervened and exposed it. So why are we even allowed to vote if one candidate is going to win regardless of what we choose? Those in the system want to keep you believing you have a say in the matter. In 2000, they used the ploy of a ballot foul-up to convince you that you count. Double entendre. That you count as in figuring out numbers, but also as if you count, as if you even matter. But even though the election mess provided both an excuse and a diversion, it did not dull citizen awareness because people were able to clearly see that something was amiss. And I say, since so many of us will be paying closer attention to the voting process from now on, it'll probably be much harder for anyone to make such questionable moves. If they try, they will be stopped, and that'll open the door for a divine leader to walk through. Spirit says, keep in mind what I said earlier. Here's the prophecy, and it's happening now, is it not? This was vesseled in 1996. Spirit says, your present legislative branch will collapse, and it will take years to rebuild it. Because of this restoration process, many old guard politicians will be forced out. Your new lawmakers will not make law per se, but rather will introduce you to divine law and teach you all how to fall into flow with it. Remember, that establishment of divine order is commencing as I speak. It's changing. You may not see it. The question I simply put to you, my friend who I love, are you living in the chaotic noise of the world? The top of this live feed where all the information is, the title and so forth, you will see a donate button. If you feel it in your heart to donate anything, thank you. For tour support, for me going on the road, thank you, Dana. I appreciate you, dear. You will also see, and the meek shall inherit the earth, the prophecy realize. Watch that movie. It will further press home this lesson that I brought tonight. Suddenly within the silence, the new world appears. Get out of mainstream media if you choose the silence and if you choose the new world. If you choose the mainstream currentness of it all, you're likely going to lean into the violence, whether you choose the violence or not, and you will be exempt from the silence. I'm not saying you watching mainstream or anything like that because you're into the violence of it that you want to keep current. You are what's current. You are the one that's present, hopefully. And then you will see what truly is, what presence is. Not the noise that's coming through these outlets and through these platforms of media. Simply, you can see it in social media alone. This is not picking on mainstream media. Social media is mainstream media. I love Facebook. I love social media. Because I've learned, not only by conscious choice, to filter out the noise by not allowing certain things in my feed, but the people who I love, who are still in the noise, I'm okay with it because I understand what that thing they said is. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at my friend's heart. So in that way, I've filtered it out as well. I didn't filter it out. I filtered it in. I allowed that dark to move through my pure heart via my intention and sincerity and transmute it into light by doing these vessels, doing these presentations to say, I'm on a train to... And if you are on the train with me and yours is moving a little faster, please grab my hand and pull me on board your train. I want it. I want momentum. Right? So I'm going to go inside again and allow the open-eyed Keith out the way and let Spirit speak. But also, if you would, now would be a fantastic time to leave me a question, simple question, or comment. Please don't make it longer than a paragraph if you need that. I'm going to change the mood of the music. I want something a little lighter in nature. Not that this is of the light, not of the light. I want something that feels lighter. Just give me a moment. Hello, everyone out in YouTube land. Blessings. Ah. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Okay, I'm going to fall inside. Please send your questions or comments. YahNahVah, soul steps to the fore. Hello, dear ones. Greetings on this beautiful day, preferred, present moment. As I lovingly push and give you a few nuggets to chew on. Soul is delighted to see all of you here, the many facets of my own self, gathered in such a beautiful, loving, transformative, wanting to heal, move forward, inward, and upward kind of way. Blessings. If you're just arriving for the presentation that was had tonight, lovingly, Soul offers you with a gentle nudge to start from the very beginning. You will understand duality, without a doubt. You will understand contrast, the noise of the world, and the peace of God that lives within all of you. The law of physics, the law of spirit, is the same law. What you choose, win or lose, love song or the blues, it's all up to every one of yous. There is no greater spiritual wisdom that can ever come through anyone else. Never has, nor ever will. What you choose, win or lose, a love song or the blues, is what will beset you and upset you, but only if you let yourself fall, all of you. As you fall, ironically, I've said this before, you lift. Get my drift? And there you will find yourself on the cosmic life stream, moving you out of the old world of noise and into the new world of poise. That what keeps you erect, that what keeps you standing up tall, feeling proud, feeling good, feeling full of light. And with all your delicious love and might, you will gain true sight, and everyone around you will begin to fall out of quandary and plight. And in such delight, you will all move into the garden together, which you have never left. But for those who are bereft and asleep very deep, this is your opportunity. The window is open, and so is hoping the best for you. Do you have the same intention for yourself, dear one? Yeshua is present. Jesus is present. The Buddha is present. Krishna is present. Mother Mira is present. They are all present because in presence is the all. It's the beauty. It's the multifaceted, ever-present beauty. Are you seeing it? Are you being it? And are you freeing it to be part of your own experience? If not, simply, soul, ask lovingly, why? Do you not have the tools? Yes, you do, and you know that you do. You know that Creator lives in you. That which lives in you creates worlds and universes. So now that being said, you know you have the tools. It simply becomes a revelation for you, and you don't like it so much. And it's called, I'm simply not choosing it. And it hurts to hear the truth of your procrastination, of what you have been choosing and doing to your very self. God says, I didn't read it. He says, well, thank you for the answer, Keith, without looking at the question. Profound. You're blessed, my brother. This is your creation, Scott. It's co-created between you and I. What's up, Nathan, my old childhood friend? Everyone, thank you. Thank you, thank you. If you're just joining this feed, watch it, please. I think I'm on purpose going to let this feed run, and I'm going to repeat the intro. One, I'm going to do it in reverse order. At the beginning of the presentation, I played a really cool song that created a really cool space. And then I played something that it took me 2 hours to create about politics. This is not pro or anti-politics. I'm just talking about creating a landmark, an icon of something we can look at as contrast of the noise of the world that's keeping us from falling into the silence which allows the new world to appear. So this is what I played at the beginning of this presentation to create an understanding. My name is Keith Blanchard. I love you. Live in the light. Get out of the noise, dear Lord. God bless you. Get out of the noise. Here are the 2 bits I played at the beginning to create contrast. I'm going to start with the one I made about politics. Again, I am not pro or anti-politics. I'm creating a fact of the matter, which is it creates a noise. And then the silence. Experience these 2 polar opposites. And what you choose as the ongoing of your life will be the ongoing of your life. Get out of the noise for your sake.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down.
Touch me, sir. You cannot touch me.
I should have used 2 accounts, one for personal, one for work-related emails. That was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. I take responsibility.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very rowdy group.
Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know
Because we want our children in this nation to know
that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Woo. Okay.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted.
The rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them.
When Mexico sends its people,
The rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
The rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them.
And and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
And shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. Shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
We are all equal in rights and dignity.
It's torn.